welcome to today's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we have a very rare beast indeed. The puzzle on the screen is called Roll Out the Red Carpets, and it's by Arlo Lipov, and I don't know if we've ever done a puzzle by Arlo Lipov, but that's not why I think this is unusual. This is unusual because it only has 1 star out of 5 for difficulty on Logic Masters Germany, so it's meant to be a very easy puzzle. But it has something like a 95% approval rating, and that is really, really rare. Almost all of the easier puzzles on Logic Masters Germany get voted down below 90% because I think people tend to find that on the easier puzzles they don't find the beauty of the logic sufficiently clever enough or something that they award the puzzles the really high ratings. So what Arlo has achieved here is really cool, and if you're new to variant Sudoku, I would really suggest this is a puzzle you give this puzzle a try before you watch the video, because you might find it's very doable. It involves these red carpets unfurling, and I've seen this rule before, I'm sure, but maybe not with X's and V's in the grid. I can't remember, but I'm certain I've seen these unfurling carpets. I want to say in a puzzle by a Spartacus, but that could be completely wrong. Anyway, do I have any news before I read you the rules? Not really today, just an appeal actually. If you do enjoy the channel, please do subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. Please do like the video, drop us a comment. Consider joining us on Patreon, where we have all of this extra content, Sudoku stuff, crossword stuff, and or buy some of our apps, which are very, very cool things indeed. They are completely different to any other Sudoku apps because they are full of handcrafted puzzles. And of course, if you watch this channel, you will know that there is something very, very beautiful about handcrafted Sudokus. That is what we are here to experience. Anyway, that said and done, let's get on with Roll Out the Red Carpets, and we can see what's going on with Arlo's puzzle. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means put the digits 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and each of these 3x3 boxes. Digits along a red line must repeat in the same order when the carpet is rolled out, starting from the dotted end. Right, so there's a dotted end. So what it's saying is, this we can imagine is a furled up carpet, and when we unfurl this carpet, it's going to stretch out along this row. So this digit in the finished grid, this digit here needs to be the same as that digit, because as we unrolled this carpet, you can see that digit would go there, that digit would go there, that digit would go there, etc., etc. Now I found a really cool example to show you this. Look at this. This I think demonstrates it perfectly. So you can see the word carpeting has been furled up in this box here, and as the carpet gets unfurled, it spells out carpeting along the row. So hopefully that gives you an idea of exactly how this works. Now there's another thing here which says, e.g., the digits along the line in box 7, so this is box 7, will unroll up column 3. Right, okay, yes, because this is sort of the end of the carpet, and as this carpet unrolls, it basically unrolls upwards there as it unfurls up the column. So it then tells us that row 8 column 2, which is that digit, will be the same as the digit in row 1 column 3, which is that cell, and that's exactly what we'd expect. As we unwind this carpet, we're going to find this cell ends up here. So that is how the carpet rules work, but there is slightly more to the rules. Digits in cells joined by a V sum to 5, so those cells sum to 5, and digits in cells joined by an X sum to 10, so those sum to 10. Not all V's and X's are given, so that means it would be perfectly possible for these two digits to sum to 5 or to 10, just because there's no V or X there. That doesn't stop that from being the case. So do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And my first thought here is that this is going to be a colouring puzzle, because as we unfurl our carpets, we're obviously going to get a lot of equivalencies between cells. Although I say that, and I've just seen I can put a digit. I can put a digit into box 7, because this box is very cluttered with X's and V's, and there is a digit you cannot ever put on an X or a V, and that is the digit 5. Because if you put a 5 on a V, you've got to accompany it with a 0, and that won't work from a Sudoku perspective. And if you put a 5 on an X, you've got to accompany it with a 5 in order to show it adds up to 10. And that also won't work from a Sudoku perspective. So where do we put 5 in this box? I think it's got to go right in the corner. And that is on a carpet. So that means we're going to be able to place 5 in this column, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the 7th cell up. So it's this cell has to be a 5 in order to make sure this carpet unfurls and the digits retain their positions on the carpets. So 5 can't go on the V here, so 5 goes in one of these two cells in box 4. We've hardly got any X's and V's in box 3, so I don't think we can do any 5. We can't do any 5-age in this box, but what about 5s in box 2? It can't go on an X, and it can't go in row 3 because of the 5 there, so it's got to go in one of 2 places here. So 5 is going to be 5. Ooh, what about 5 in row 7? It can go in 2 places. Oh, you rotten thing. Okay, so maybe it's not about 5s. Hang on, what about 5s in row 5? No, 2 positions. Okay, so there are 2 positions for 5 in row 5 and 2 positions for 5 in row 7. I've got a feeling there's going to be another restriction on 5 somewhere. But maybe what we can do is, while we're thinking about 5s, let's have a think about how, well, this I think is the most restricted carpet. And that's because almost every cell on this carpet benefits, if you want to use the word benefit, or benefits or suffers from an X or V constraint. So that means all of the digits in this column are we're going to have equivalencies, similar equivalencies, aren't we? So for example, this cell, as we unfurl this carpet, this cell and this cell have to be the same. And that is a small digit because it's on a V in box 7. So that's got to be a 1, 2, 3 or 4. And then the next cell along the carpet also is on a V because, so those 2 cells have to be 1, 2. Yeah, look, this is already interesting. These 2 cells have to be the same, but look, now I can get blue in box 5 because this is a V domino and it's got an orange digit on it. So we know that orange connects to blue across a V domino. So we get this is the blue digit, and the blue digit is not 2. So we can take blue out of all of the blue cells, and that means we can take 3 out of all of the orange cells. Yeah, okay, so let's carry on with this. So then that cell and that cell have to be the same as we unfurl the carpet. And that's therefore 8, 9 or 6. I don't know if I can do any more with that. Okay. Okay, but we can actually do a bit more, because these 2 digits have to be low as well, don't they? Because they're on a V domino. Yeah, so those 2 digits are low, which means these 2 digits, which are the end of the carpet, are high digits. So they're 6, 7, 8 or 9. And we know that high digits, as we unfurl the carpet up the column, those 2 digits correspond to those 2 squares. So they've got to be 6, 7, 8 or 9. And we can probably colour these in. What should we use? Yellows and purples maybe. So yellow now can't be 6 because of the given 6, which means that, what does that mean? So that means that this digit, okay, yeah, this cell here is the same as that digit. I can colour those in then, because they're connected. The yellow cell is connected in box 7 to this digit across an X domino. So these two cells have to add to 10, and the same is true there. So that must be the same as that. And that's not able to be 6. So this is not able to be 4. Yeah, this is very interesting indeed. So if that, yeah, okay. And if that can't be 4, that can't be 1. And if that can't be 1, that can't be 9. So now purple can't be 9. And that's on an X domino. I'm not sure if this is how you're meant to do this puzzle at all, but it's the way I'm doing it, and it's really quite interesting. Just these little relationships between the dominoes seems to be having sort of a surprising amount of effects. So this cell now, not being a 9, means that that cell has to be a 2, 3 or a 4, I think. And it's not a 2 by a given digit. So this is down to 3 or 4, which means this is down to 6 or 7 and can't be 8. So purple is now 6 or 7. This digit is 3 or 4. Now that digit affects red, which now can't be 3 anymore. So red can't be 3, which means yellow can't be 7. So yellow is not 7. Now, has this actually done anything? I don't know is the answer. That digit is a 3 or a 4. Do I know where that goes? Oh, no. Well, no, it obviously goes here in this column. What am I talking about? That digit has to be a high number. And that's either 6, 7 or 9. And corresponds with the blue. But the blue, none of the other blues are linked to an X, so we can't extend this cell's sort of positioning, I don't think. Here's something though. This is a V domino, and it's not a blue-orange domino, so it's not this one. So it must have a red digit on it, because it's this V domino. It's the same as this V domino. And that red digit goes there. And the red digits are attached to yellow digits across X dominoes. So that's an 8 or a 9, and that's yellow. So that's a red. And therefore this and this, these two digits are the same. So we're running out of colours here. Let me just think about what colour I can use without it being offensive. Grey, maybe? So this has got to be a 3 or a 4. Now, has that actually helped, though? The answer to that is I don't know. Possibly not. Okay. But this being a 3 or a 4, and therefore, having a red-grey V, being part of a red-grey V domino, means this can't be a red-grey V domino. This must be a blue-orange. Oh yeah, it must be a blue-orange domino, and that's blue, so that's got to be blue, and this has got to be orange. And therefore this is 1, 3 or 4, because that's what blue can be, and that's got to be 1, 2 or 4, because that's what orange can be. And that cell is grey, because it's connected to a purple by an X. I'm sure I'm not doing this the right way now, because this is not that easy, I don't think. It's very interesting and I'm enjoying it mightily, but it's not that easy. Okay, now this V domino has to be the X-grey V domino, which means, well, not the X-grey, the red-grey domino, and the red must go here, so that's got to be red. Therefore, that's got to be a grey 3 or 4. And possibly the idea now... Oh no, I've done it. Sorry, and I could have done this about 5 minutes ago. I've done it. I've done it because look, once we unfurl this red carpet, Where does that digit go? It goes there. That as this carpet unfurls, that digit ends up here, and it's a 6 or a 7. It's got to be purple. Well, it can't be 6. There's a 6 in the grid. So purple is 7. And if purple is 7, then grey is 3 across an X domino. So grey is 3, so that means red is 2. Look, we're going to get everything. Okay, this might be why people have rated this as fairly accessible, because when you get started, it might just fall over. Now, yes, if this is 2, 3, then we know that orange-blue is a 1, 4 pair, isn't it? So we can tidy some things up here. Whoops, that's 3, that comes out. So if that's true, we now know that green, which attaches to a 1 or a 4 now, is not 8. So that's not 8, which we could have done by Sudoku. Oh yeah, and there's all sorts going on. That can't be 7 anymore. That's got to be a 6 or a 9. But now I can colour in that cell. And I'm just seeing that as I unfurl this carpet further, I've got a yellow digit here, so that's got to be 8. And then I've got a 2 next, so that's got to be 2. And then, okay, that might be as far as that goes, but that was almost exciting. Okay. Yeah, what's on this domino now? Because it's not 1, 9, 4, 6 or 2, 8. That's 3, 7, and there's a 3 here. So that's 3. That's 7. 7 has got a colour. It's purple. Now, can I go further than that? Maybe. I'm not sure whether the idea now is to... It's probably going to be to use these red carpets a bit more, isn't it? Because if you think about the end of this carpet, it has to be those 2 cells, which are the purple, sorry, not the purple, the blue and orange domino. So that's a 1, 4 pair, which means this is a 6 or a 9. And it can't be that one, can it? Because that would be in the same row. And that tells us what this colour is. This is beautiful. It's really clever. In fact, we did know the colour anyway, because as we unfurl this orange must be in the final position. So we did know that was orange. That was me being slow and forgetting how the rule works. So that cell is whatever connects to orange on the next domino. That is green. This needs its own colour really, doesn't it? Let's make that black. Oh, that's a bit unpleasant. People don't like the blue on the black. I'll make it light grey. Hopefully I'll be able to see that. So what's this domino then? It can't be 2, 8, and it can't be 6, 4. It can't be 1, 9. That's 3, 7. Oh, I see. So we can just fill this in. That's 3. That's 7. That's grey. That's purple. Purple goes here by Sudoku. Where does 3 go in box 6? Well, it's in one of these 2 squares, but if 3 was here, this would be a 7 by X domino logic. So it's not there, it's got to be there, so that's grey. So now we've almost got all the greys in the grid. In fact, have we or can we get the final grey? Grey is here or here. Oh, no, we can, of course, using this. I'm not very good at this. You've got to use this, this red carpet now, because the 7th position on this carpet is corresponding to that position, which is going to be that cell. So that is 3, which places a 3 here by by Sudoku. And what's more, this is in the 8th position on this carpet, so the next digit is a 7, which is purple. And now we can't put 7 on this because we need a 3 with it, so that's 7. And therefore, this is 7 by Sudoku. Have we done all the 7s? We have. We've done all the 7s. Have we done all the 3s? Yes. Have we done all the 2s? No. Well, but we might... No. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I can't do all the 2s. Okay, sorry. I was getting overexcited then. So, what should we look for next? Where are the easy... What's that? that must not be 4, 6, 3, 7 or 2, 8. This is a 1, 9 pair, which feels like it might matter. So 9 is now in one of these two squares by Sudoku. 9 is in one of those two squares by Sudoku. And those two squares are a 4, 5 pair, which means these two squares are, no, 4, 5 here. Oh, this is huge. That being a 4, 5 pair tells me what blue is. Blue is now 1. So if blue is 1, and it is, orange is 4. And now I know green is 6. Okay, and therefore light grey is 9. Okay, that must be massive, isn't it? So this is now a 5, 9 pair. Just to fill in the rest of box 4. What are those two digits? They are 4 and 6. Somehow that's not resolved. So this, oh, that's a bit unpleasant. I've got a deadly pattern there. 1s and 9s. How's that going to get resolved? Oh, I see. It could still get resolved. It could actually, because this 1, 9 transposes in by red carpet logic into these two squares, and it's possible there could be a 1 or a 9 down here or down here that could affect this, thereby affecting this, thereby fixing what would otherwise be a deadly pattern. That's fascinating. Good grief. And now this square is a 4 or a 6 and corresponds to that digit. Okay, so what can we do with this? We now know where 9 goes, it seems, in this box. So we've still got to place 5, 6 and 8. Oh, that's got to be a 5 by Sudoku. That's got to be a 6 by Sudoku. That's got to be an 8. That's got to be a 5. Are we on the home stretch? It's possible we're on the home stretch now. This has got to be a something. Not the most descriptive thing I've ever said in my life. Okay, that's a 5 by Sudoku. So this is 2, 8, 9 at the bottom. 2, 8, 9. And that this cell here corresponds to the final cell on this this red carpet. So that's a 2, 8 or a 9. And those two digits are the same. These two digits we now know have got to be 6 and 9, and there's a 6 here. Yeah, so that's 6. This is 9, and I appreciate I've got a lot of colouring to make up for here. That's a 5 because 5 can't go on the next domino. Okay, so these three digits are now 4, 8 and 9. I'm just going to fill them in and then see if we can limit them. That's not 9, so this is 4 or 8, so this is 4 or 8. And if this is 4, well, this can't be 9 because that would put 1 above it. If it's 8, it would put 2 here, and if it was 4, it would put 6 here. So that actually seems possible. Although, of course, that digit, yeah, okay, the way I could have figured this out more quickly is by thinking about this red carpet. I keep forgetting the red carpets. For that, I apologise, because that's a 1 or a 9 by logic, and those two digits are the same by the unfurling this red carpet down the column. So that cell and that cell are the same, and the only option, therefore, is to make them 6, which makes that 4, that 4, that 8, that 9, that 1, that 1, that 9, this 6, this 4, and this has unwound this deadly pattern now, because the 7th position on this carpet is now a 9, which means that's the 9, and therefore that's the 1, that's the 1, that's the 9. This has got to be a 4 or a 5 by Sudoku, and it's not 4, so that's 5. That all gets fixed. This is, oh, that's the same as that, so we still don't know what that is. 2s, 4s, and 8s into these squares, with that not being able to be 4. Okay, so what's figuring this out now? So this is the only position for 4 now, which is the same as this. So that makes sense. This has got to be a 2, 8 pair, so that's fixed. That fixes 9 here, Now that's on a carpet. Oh, all of this is resolved. I'm just not using the carpets, am I? 41982. So it must go 8228. And all that's left to do is to colour everything in, which I will do to try and make it look as pretty as possible. That's blue. 4s are orange. What's green? Green is 6. 2 is red, I think. And I should just be left with 5s as uncoloured. I think that's the solution. Let's click tick. Yay! That was so cool. That's I'm sure I've done that in a complicated way, because I kept finding that I could have used these carpets far more efficiently than I did. But I totally understand why people have enjoyed that, because it's really, well, especially the beginning actually, that's what I really thought was clever. You can effectively get these wonderful equivalences from box 7 up this column. And the way they work with the X dominoes, we were able to bounce around them, and they kept on narrowing down. And then I missed, of course, the fact that this purple had to go here. I could have got the fact that this was 7 really early on, and it would probably have fallen apart more quickly still. Yeah, and I think if you just paid attention to how the carpets work, you would have done better than me on that one. So I hope you did. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.